Welcome to the Lead Generator User's Guide. In this three-part User's Guide, we're going to talk about how to register to use the lead generator, how to post your company's initial entries, and how to do some simple searches for leads. Be sure to review all three parts though, because if you don't register and post your company's data correctly, you won't be able to search for leads. The basic registration steps are shown on the top of this slide. First, we're going to register you as a user, then we're going to register your company, and then we're going to create your first business card. It may be helpful to understand why we have a separate registration for yourself as a user and one for your company, and then ask you to create a business card. It's really pretty simple, as it basically reflects what happens in the real world. That is, like many online systems, the lead generator requires a user ID and a password for you to get in, and it needs your email address in order to do things like send you an email when there's a lead for you on the system, and it needs to verify that you are, in fact, who you say you are, which is important because we're talking about real leads and a real business and real opportunities for you to make money. But like in the real world, you are not your business. It's a separate entity, so we have to register the company and create a separate business record in the database. And in fact, you may even be affiliated with multiple businesses in the system, which the lead generator will let you do. Similarly, a company may have multiple employees who would need to be able to be linked to that one company record. So that's what the business card does. It links you as a person to your company. If you work for multiple companies, then of course you would have multiple business cards. Business cards also allow you to create a personal identity on the system. That is, your personal business card, in case you want to use it to post your resume and find a new job. But that's why we have this three-part registration process. Once you've set up yourself as a user, registered your company, and linked yourself to your company with a business card, you can then start posting your company's preliminary data. The basic entries for your business include your company's description, which is a free text description of what your company does, its value proposition, and anything else you'd like people to know about your company. It also includes a listing of your company's products and services using SIC codes. It includes a listing of what your company needs and buys, also using SIC codes. It includes your company's organization chart. You can post any leads that you may have. You can post advertisements or start a blog. And you are encouraged to upload your contact list so we can invite your contacts to join the system. Because remember, the more users there are, the more leads there are for you. Keep in mind, as you'll see in a moment, that there are a series of checks and blocks in the system that will prevent you from viewing certain information if you haven't posted your own information, which is a basic tenet of the system. So you want to be sure to put in your data, as much data as you can, as early as you can. Of course, you probably want to do searches as soon as possible, so you may not want to wait to post your entire general ledger to the needs table to get started looking for leads. But you'll need to post something, and you'll want to add it as early as possible. Just to give you an idea about how the system of checks and blocks work, this table gives you a brief overview. If you don't register, of course, you basically can't do anything, which includes searching for leads. But more importantly, if you don't put in your company's needs, you can't search the database for other companies' needs. And remember, that's where many of the opportunities are, in the needs area. If you don't post your company's products and services, you can't search other companies' products and services. If you don't post any leads, you can't search the leads area of the database. If you don't put in your company's organization chart, you can't view other companies' organization charts. And if you don't reply to messages that you receive, then you can't send messages to other users, which basically means you can't make contact and therefore do anything about the lead. I'll also mention that it's very important that you upload your contact list or address book, since the more users there are, the more leads there are. But be aware that the basic idea behind the lead generator is that you have to give in order to get, and that's what the checks and blocks ensures. The advantage, of course, is that the information that we ask you to post is information that is very easy and inexpensive for you to acquire and upload. But in return, what you get is extremely valuable information that would otherwise be almost impossible to get. But you have to put data in order to get data out. Okay, when you initially go to the lead generator homepage, you want to click on the register link at the top of the screen. This will bring you to the new user, new company registration screen. You'll need to start by entering your email address, as the system will need to be able to contact you, of course, when there is a lead or a message for you on the system. You then want to enter a screen name that you can use to log in, along with a password that you should change periodically. The first user for any company will automatically be designated as the administrative user. The message reminder drop-down list lets you select how frequently you want to receive notifications from the system, and the next box gives you a choice of having your user ID and password included in the notifications in case you share your computer with other people and don't want them stored in a cookie. Enter a promotional code if you have one in the next box, and finally review the terms and conditions and privacy policy click the checkbox, then click Continue to process your registration. This screenshot shows a completed form, and again, when you click Continue, your registration will be processed, and you get a screen that looks something like this. You'll want to be sure to check your inbox, and especially your spam folder now, because the system will automatically send you an email confirming your registration. As I said, the system needs to be able to reach you, so be sure to allow this email, which will come from registration@leadgenerator.com, to get through. When you get this email, be sure to click on the Confirm button to finish processing the registration. When you click on that confirmation link, it will open a browser window and give you a message that your email response has been confirmed. You can then close out of that browser window, as there should be no active controls on the page. You're now ready to go on to the company registration screen, which you should be able to get to by clicking on the Continue button from before. This is the part of the process where you're going to create that company record. You do that by entering your company name, its address, its telephone number, fax number, and website. We also ask you to enter the name of a purchasing contact at your company, as well as their email address. This is important because in many cases the primary user of the system is a salesperson, and they often don't know much about what the company needs. By providing the name and contact information to the purchasing manager or CFO, we can reach directly out to them, invite them to use the system for their own purposes, and help accelerate the process of getting your company's data posted so you can search for leads. This is an example of company registration screen having been filled out. You then click on the Continue button, and the record will be posted to the system. The last step in registering the company is to select the number of licenses or IDs that are to be associated with the account. For obvious reason, the minimum that we give you is 2, since we want to make it easy for companies to have both a sales representative and a purchasing representative on the system. But if you want to have multiple salespeople and/or multiple other users, you can select that option here. You can also add users later on if you want. So you don't have to make any decisions now if you don't want to. You can just click on Continue and move on. The last step in the registration process is to enter your first business card. Just like in the real world, this screen allows you to put in whatever contact information that you want people to have, such as your email address, your department, title, or cell phone, if you're going to do business with them. Note that the default in the system is to not publish this information except for your name. If you want an individual or anybody to see it, you can make that choice later, but you need to put your contact information now so your registration can be completed. Once you complete your registration, you'll be taken to what we call the Quick Reference screen. You can get to this screen, which contains a summary of all your company's entries at any time by clicking on its link under the Help button on the left. This screen provides you with a high-level view of all your entries and whether they're up to date or not. It also gives you quick access to your inbox and gives you an instant view of how many leads there are on the system for you down at the bottom of the screen. But this completes the registration process. You can now go on and enter your company's data so you'll be able to then search for leads. To see how to enter your company's data, click on the link for part 2 of the series now.